I'm going to do the step-by-step lesson for Word Module 2. This is editing and formatting documents. I've already opened up Blackboard, so I'm going to open the file that we need. So when the document opens, it opens up in a protected view, so we have to enable editing. You'll also notice within this document that we have comments. And that's what our first section is going to be on. It's called Insert Comments. What this is called is reviewing your document. So a comment is text contained in a comment balloon that appears along the right side of the document in the print layout view. And there is an option here on our review tab that is called tracking. So you have track changes, and you can look at markup. Markup is just any additional corrections or changes made within the document. Also, your comments that are put here as well. So track changes is used for someone who wants to review your document but not make changes to it. So track changes is allowing you to, kind of like the red ink that's on if you turn in a physical paper that you wrote a document on, and your English professor would use a red pen to make corrections or to mark out mark changes or something like that. And so that's what track changes is compared to. Before we get started, let's save the document. I'll save it to my folder where I have all my other documents. And I'm just going to call this Tech Job. I'm just going to kind of shorten the name of it a little bit. So it wants us to start out on our review tab. And on our review tab, which I just explained to you there, how you can use it for the track changes. In the tracking group, you want to click the display for review arrow. So that's what this option is right here. And we want to make sure that all markup is selected. If all markup is selected, then you can see your comments throughout the document. We want to click the word sector in the title. And when you select the word sector, we're going to insert a new comment. So this is in the comments group on our review tab. And in our comment, just type in this title is approved by the web team. And then click outside of your comment. You can click in the body of your document and it will deselect your comment. So you can see this comment has our name tied to it. The previous ones have Dawn LaPointe tied to them. So you can have as many people as you want to review your document. And it will assign that individual's name to the comment. So after we've typed that in, let's click on Dawn's first comment balloon. And we want to reply to this. And in our reply, we want to put, I am compiling a list, period. Click on Dawn's second balloon, and not necessary, so we're going to delete it. So in the comments, click on delete. If you click on the picture above the word delete, it'll just delete the comment. Now let's go back to Dawn's comment and our reply that we put in there. Click after the period in the word list and type in I will send it to you. And we want to scroll down, click on Dawn's comment balloon, the one that says please add citations, and we want to click the resolve button because we're going to take care of that later on. So we click on resolve, and you'll notice that it changes it to like a grayed out. Okay, then let's go up to the top in our tracking group when we have all markup. Let's change it to no markup. So now we see the document as is. And we want to save the document. Our next step is going to be find and replace text. So find and replace text can be found on our Home tab. And before we get started, let's press Control Home. Those are two keys on your keyboard. So hold down the Control key, hit the Home key. It'll take you to the top of your document. From the top of the document, you want to work your way down, and we're going to look for words within our document to replace. So click on Replace. If there's any text within the Find What box, go ahead and take it out. And in the Find What text box, type in lowercase talent. Push your tab key. We want to replace it with the word skill. So type in skill there. And we also want to make sure that the box that says match case is selected. So once you have that box selected, what that means is only the word talent, lowercase t, will be found and replaced. Let's click on Replace All, and it tells you how many replacements that were made, which should be 8. You can go ahead and click on OK, and then click on the Close button. Now let's click on Find. When you click Find, it opens up the navigation pane over to the left-hand side. In the navigation pane, you'll see Results should be selected. In the word talent, when you type it in, make sure the T is capitalized. And you'll see that there's 2 instances of talent with a capital T. Now, if you come back with no results, then you did the previous step incorrectly. You need to undo, go back, look for the word talent in all lowercase letters, and make sure that the checkbox is in the match case box when you do the replace, and it should do it correctly. And then whenever you come to this step, you should be able to find 2 instances of the word talent with a capital T. So we can close the box, our navigation pane, and we want to press Control Home. And save our document. Our next step is checking spelling and grammar. Spelling and grammar can be done a couple of different ways. So our first misspelled word is Siobhan. It's in the second body paragraph. We can right click on it. I've already corrected the spelling for it previously, so it's not going to recognize it. So when you right click on it, it'll bring up a box asking if you want to replace it, or ignore all. Click on Ignore All. Then press Control Home again to go to the top of your document. Go to your Review tab. On your Review tab, you'll see Spelling and Grammar, which is in the very first group, the Proofing group. So click on Spelling and Grammar, and now it's going to take you through the document. Any word that has a red wavy line, a blue line, it's going to ask if you want to change the spelling on it or fix your grammatical error. So for the first one, we have Innovation. We want to click on that. The next one is the word as. it was typed in 2 times incorrectly. When you click on spelling and grammar, you have your spelling and grammar or your editor task pane. And down at the bottom of the editor task pane, you'll see delete repeated words. So we just want to delete that word. Long term should be hyphened. So you can click on long term and it will change that. If it comes up again, you can click on ignore once and then click on OK. And save your document again. Now we're going to look for research information. So this is still on our review tab. And we're going to be looking in the proofing group. So we used spelling and grammar previously. We have the thesaurus, which will suggest another way to say the word that you have typed in, synonyms, and then you have word count. So we want to select whizzes in the third line of the second body paragraph. So tech whizzes. So just select it, click on thesaurus. And for some reason, I'm having problems with my thesaurus coming up. So another way that you can do this is you can right click on whizzes and you'll see synonyms and click on expert. And if yours did open up the proofing or the thesaurus from the proofing group, and you could click on expert, click the arrow next to the word expert, and then click on insert. And you can close your thesaurus pane. The next one is to right click the word relevant in the fourth line of the second body paragraph. So it's just down to the next line. Right click relevant, go down to synonyms, and we want to select pertinent. And it will automatically change it for you. Now we want to select the 3 paragraphs of body text under career growth. So select everything between career growth and application developer. We want to know how many words are included. So in the proofing group, click on word count. It'll tell you how many words. You should have 181 words. Characters with no spaces is 915. Characters with spaces is 1096. Paragraphs 3, lines 12. And click on OK. And you can close that box out and save the document. Now we're going to work with some paragraph formatting. Paragraph formatting that we're going to use now is going to be line spacing and indent. When you indent a paragraph, you move its edge in from the left or the right margin. Indenting paragraphs is very easy. So let's make sure we're at the top of the document. So hit Control Home. We want to go to our Home tab, and in the paragraph group, we want to turn on the Show/Hide button, which is our non-printing characters. And this is the last option in the first line in the paragraph group. And then click within your document and press Control A. Control A will select the entire document. And now we want to click the line and paragraph spacing arrow in our paragraph group. So right above the word paragraph, you have line and paragraph spacing. Click on that. Go to 1 point or go to 2. Now our entire document is double spaced. And then you can deselect your selected text. We want to place the insertion point in the first body paragraph. So when you're dealing with paragraphs and formatting, you do not have to select the entire paragraph. All you have to do is have your insertion point within the paragraph. So after you've done that, let's go to our line and paragraph spacing. Change it to 1.15. Now select the next two paragraphs, so starting with according to and your labor statistics paragraph. Highlight those two paragraphs, and we want to change the body text to 1.15 for those as well. So we adjusted our line spacing. Click before the word job in the first paragraph and press your tab key. So that's an easy way to indent the paragraph. Another way that you can do it is put your insertion point before the word according and according to, and up at the top on your ruler. If you do not see your ruler, go to the View tab. In the Show group, put a check mark in the box that's next to Ruler. I'll turn on your ruler for you. Let's go back to the Home tab. So with your insertion point before the word according, we want to use the first line indent marker on our ruler. So if you look at your ruler, you have three little icons here. The very top one, the arrow pointing down, is first line indent. And we want to bring it over to the half-inch mark on our ruler. Now place your insertion point in the third body paragraph, and for this one we want to drag the hanging indent marker. This will be on the right of your ruler, and we want to drag it to the half-inch mark on our ruler. So we're just going to come over to the 6. And you can see there how it will bring in your indent for the right side. So let's undo. And let's make sure your mouse is selected or your insertion point is within the paragraph. And you want to grab the second, the arrow pointing up, which is your hanging indent, and drag it over to the half-inch mark on the ruler. When you drag it over to the half-inch mark, the first line stays aligned with the left margin, but the lines underneath it are indented. This is called a hanging indent. Most of the time you will see this like on a bibliography or works cited page. Place the insertion point in the first body paragraph. Okay, so with your insertion point in the first body paragraph, we want to remove spacing after the paragraph. So using the same option, line and paragraph spacing, click on the drop down and select remove space after paragraph. And you'll see that it brings your paragraph, your first and your second paragraph, closer. And save your changes. Now I know that this doesn't look very good right now, but we're going to adjust it and fix it to make it look more professional. So we're going to work with applying styles to text. Style is a set of formatted settings, such as font size, color, paragraph spacing, alignment, and it's all stored in one style. So all you have to do is click one button and it'll automatically adjust it for you. In Word, you have style sets. So it's a group of related styles that share common fonts, colors, formats, and they're designed to be used together in a document to give it a more fluid, professional look. So let's press Control Home. Make sure we're at the top of the document. Select Career Growth in the text sector. So I just move my mouse to the left margin and click. We want to go to the styles group, and you can move your mouse over top of the different styles to see how the different styles will apply to your text. And the one that we want to apply is title. So you may have to click on the down arrow until you find the one that says title. And once you apply the title, it will apply the title to all of the text that's in that row. The next step is we want to highlight Applications Developer, and we want to change it to a heading 1. And we want to scroll down and we want to apply heading 1 to all the headings underneath. You want to apply it to more than one at one time. You select one, hold down your control key, and as you're clicking the other ones, hold down your control key. And then you can let it go as you scroll down. Or you can do them one by one, it's up to you. Now, after you have them all selected, you can click on heading 1, and it will apply heading 1 to all of them at one time. So let's scroll back up to the top of our document. We want to place our insertion point in the first body paragraph. Click on the launcher within the paragraph group. We can see here that our line spacing is multiple. We have spacing, no spacing before and after. Our line spacing is 1.15. And then click on OK. Now let's go to make sure your insertion point is in the first paragraph. Right click the word normal in the styles group and update normal to match selection. So all of our text was formatted as normal. So when we specify that we want everything to look like the first body paragraph, we update everything else that had the normal style applied to it. Now we want to right click heading 1, go to modify. The styles based on arrow, we do not want it based on normal because we just changed normal. So we want it set to no style and OK. So that changes all of our headings back to the heading 1 format. Now right click title. We'll go to modify based on no style and click on OK. Now select the title, career growth in the tech sector. We want to increase the font size one time. We want to change our font color, which it should be blue. So just click on the A with the blue underneath it. Click on the drop down there, and we want to do 25% darker. So if it's not already selected, click on the drop down, darker, 25%. Go to our line spacing, add space after paragraph, so it gives you a little bit of a gap here between these two. And then click anywhere in the document and click on Save. Now we're going to insert page numbers and page breaks. Page numbers will be added to the header or footer within our document. You also have page breaks, and page breaks are automatically done as you go through your document. So as we scroll down through here, we'll see that it made a page break in the Customer Service Manager, the first paragraph, and it did so on down through the rest of the document. So underneath the Intelligence Analyst, it created an automatic page break. You can also specify that you want a manual page break. So click before the word customer in Customer Service Manager. On your Layout tab across the top, click on Break and select Page. And it will create a page break. You can see here by the text that's put in at the end of the document, because I have those non-printing characters turned on. And now the whole paragraph is together on the second page. Let's scroll down, click before the heading Intelligence Analyst at the bottom of the second page. You can also put in a page break by hitting Control Enter. That's forcing a page break as well. Press Control Home to go to the top of the document. Click on your Insert tab. And on your Insert tab, you will see page number in the header and footer group. Header and footer group, page number. You want to point to bottom of page and plain number 2. So it'll put our number in the middle. Now double click your body text, so anywhere within your document, and you'll see that you have the page at the bottom. Press Control Home, click on View Multiple Pages, and make sure that every page has a number at the bottom. You should have 3 pages. Let's save again, and on your View tab, click on Page Width. So we're going to work with header and footer a little bit more. Header is the text or graphic that appears at the top of every page of a document. Footer is the text or graphic that appears at the bottom of every page within your document. So with our page width setting in our Zoom group selected, we want to switch back to the Insert tab. On the Insert tab, you want to click the Header button. This is in the Header and Footer group. Scroll down, and you have different header and footers that you can select here. We're just going to select the blank. So click on blank, and it has a content control where it says type here. That is going to allow you to start typing in whatever text you want to appear at the top of your document in the header. So in our case, we want career growth in the tech sector to appear here. After you have it typed in, select the text in the header. Do not select the paragraph indicator after the R. So you might have to just move ever so slightly or start after the R and go over to the C. If it won't allow you to select it without the paragraph indicator, that'll be okay. It's just going to select a little extra space there. Just make sure you don't get the paragraph indicator below at the bottom. So we want to change the color. So just click on your Home tab, click on the letter A. You want to apply the same blue that you applied previously. We want to center our text in the paragraph group, and we want to apply bottom border. So in your paragraph group, you click on the option if only the border, the bottom border is selected. If not, click on the drop down. So you can click on the drop down and select bottom border. And it will apply just a bottom border to your header. Now let's click anywhere outside of the text to deselect it. Now we have a header and footer tools tab across the top. So click on header and footer, and in your navigation group you have go to footer. So it will take you directly down to the footer. We want to change the font color to blue. So click on home, click on your A, and then we can close our header and footer. So you can either double click within the document or go back to header and footer and click on close header and footer. So scroll down, make sure that your header appears on the second page and the third page. And then let's press Control Home to go to the top of our document. It will not go up into the header. That's okay. You want your insertion point to be before the C in career. So with your insertion point there, we want to point to the header and double click. When you double click, it opens up your header and footer bar across the top, and you want to put a check mark in different first page. So after doing that, you will see that your header is not on the top of the page and your page number is not in the footer, but it does appear on the second page. You can close your header and footer and save your document. Now we're going to add footnotes and endnotes. Footnote is at the bottom of the page on which it's referenced, and endnotes are at the end of the document. So let's change our zoom to 100%. We'll use the zoom slider at the bottom. And you want to scroll until the business analyst heading is visible. Place the insertion point at the end of the last body paragraph, so after the word demand, after the period as well. Click your references tab across the top. Click on insert footnotes in the footnotes group. And it'll automatically put a number 1 there for you. And we can type in job growth is strong in Seattle, Austin, and Boston. And after you've typed that in there, scroll up just a little, click within your document. If you move your mouse over top of the number 1, it brings up a screen tip and it will show you exactly what you typed down at the bottom. Scroll up, place the insertion point at the end of the heading Applications Developer. You want to insert a footnote, and you'll notice that this footnote appears above the previous one because it's higher in the document. So it's closer to the beginning of the document, so this one will be number 1 now. And in our footnote, we are going to type, this position is often called Mobile Applications Developer. Now, if you move your mouse over top of the new number 1, you'll see that this position is often called mobile applications developer is in your screen text there. Place the insertion point at the end of the paragraph underneath applications developer. So after the word profession, click on insert footnote. So for this footnote, we're going to type in many hold a master's degree. Okay, so click in your body paragraph, click on the launcher in your footnotes group, and just to show you, you don't have to change it, but just to show you, if you want to change the number format for your footnotes, you just click here where it says format, number format, and you have your listing here. And if you change it, you just click on apply. Since I didn't make any changes, I'm just going to click on cancel. And now it wants us to go to control home, and we're going to go through and look at our footnotes. So if you want to navigate through your footnotes, you click next footnote, and you'll see it takes you to your first footnote. Go to our next one, which is footnote number 2, and we want to delete it. So we'll just press the delete key on our keyboard, hit it one more time, and it's deleted from our body paragraph, and it's also deleted from the footnote section at the bottom of the page. And save your document once again. Now we're going to work with citations. So press Control Home, go to the top of your document. We want to zoom in to 120%. We want to place the insertion point after the word job, just before the period at the end of the second body paragraph. So this is where we're going to insert our first citation. And what a citation is a reference in a document text that gives credit to the source for a quotation or information that you have used within your document. So let's go on our References tab. If you're not already there, click on References, Citations and Bibliography, and you'll see we can change our writing style. So we're in APA right now. Let's change it to MLA. So when we put in our citations, they'll now be in MLA format. Click the Insert Citation button in the Citations and Bibliography group, and you'll see here we already have one citation for this document, and we want to add a new source. So click on Add New Source, select Type of Source, and scroll down until you find Report. Then click the Corporate Author button, so that grays out the author selection at the top, and we want to type in all the information that is in Figure 2-22. So after you've typed in your information, this is what it should look like here. So we've completed our first citation. You want to click on OK. And you'll see here that it added it within your document where your insertion point was. So click the citation, and when you click on it, it puts a box around it, which is a placeholder box, and you have a down arrow. So go ahead and click on the down arrow. We want to click on Edit Citation and type 15 in the page number. And when you type 15, click on OK, you can see here that it shows page 15. Scroll down through your document again, place the insertion point at the end of the paragraph underneath Applications Developer. So after the professions but before the period, we want to go to Insert Citation, New Source. We want to add the information that is in Figure 2-24. So when you finish with this citation, this is what it should look like. We click on OK, and it will insert it where our insertion point is. Now scroll to page 2. Place the insertion point at the end of the paragraph underneath Customer Service Manager. So before the period, click the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics in your citation list. And it'll automatically insert it for you. Press Control End to go to the end of the document. At the end of the document, we want to click between 2030 and the period and insert the same citation. Now scroll up to page 2, place your insertion point at the end of the paragraph underneath Data Architect. And for this one, we're not going to add a citation, we're going to add a placeholder. So we know that we want to add a citation here, but maybe we don't know which one yet. So just type in NYT, click on OK, and save your changes for the document. So now that we have citations, we need to create a bibliography page. So on your References tab in the Citations and Bibliography group, click on Manage Sources. And in the current list, click on the last one. We want to delete it. Click on NYT, that's the placeholder we just created. Click on Edit and enter the information that is found in Figure 2-26. Okay, so after you've typed in all of your information, you can click on OK. Close your Source Manager. Press Control N. Move to the bottom of your document, and we're going to insert a bibliography. In your Citations and Bibliography group, click on Manage Sources again. Click the JCL Talent source. Click on Edit. Deselect Corporate Author. Delete the text in the author and type Siobhan Rudd. You can click on OK. Yes to save the changes and close. And now at the bottom of our document, you want to click on the drop down next to Bibliography and select Bibliography. It's in our bibliography for us. Press Control End again. Let's click outside of our bibliography. Press Control End once again. Hit your Enter key. If it's taken yet kind of centered with a hanging indent, press the backspace key and then type your name. And save your changes. Now we're going to work with inspecting our document. So press Control Home. When you inspect your document, sometimes you want to check over it before you distribute it outside your organization, maybe to remove any private or confidential information. And this can be done by clicking on your Review tab. So let's do this first. And we want to go to All Markup. You can see all your markup there. And at this point, it says to save it and submit to your instructor. Well, we're not going to submit this. You don't submit the step-by-step, just your skills review. So from here, I'm going to go to File, Save As. We're going to save it as our title and inspect it. Click on your File tab again. Into your info and keep on scrolling down in the second column here underneath properties. Click on Show All Properties. On the left hand side, click on Check for Issues and then Inspect Document. Make sure that all the boxes are checked. We want to inspect our document for all of this information here. Click on Inspect. And what we want to remove is our comments, and we want to remove document properties and personal information. And click on Close. If you scroll up over here on your listing, click on the back button, you'll notice that your comments are gone. So save your document, and this completes Word Module 2, the step-by-step. So what's left for you to do is the skills review starting on page 226, and it will go through page 229, just the top section of page 229. If you have any questions as you're going through the step-by-step, just send me an email, and I'll be glad to help you.